The bridge stretched across the dark river like a skeletal spine, its metal beams rusted, the planks rotting under decades of neglect. Fog clung to the surface, curling around the supports, swallowing everything in a gray haze. I stepped onto the bridge, the wood groaning beneath my weight, and immediately felt a chill that had nothing to do with the night air. A faint whisper brushed past my ears, "Come closer." I froze. The wind stirred the fog, and for a moment, I thought I saw shapes moving along the edge of the bridge, shadows flickering in and out of existence. The river below was still, black as oil, reflecting nothing, not stars, not moonlight, not me. My flashlight beam cut a narrow path ahead, illuminating the cracked planks. Every step echoed off the metal framework, bouncing in a way that made it feel like I was being followed. And then I heard it again, soft, barely audible, but unmistakable. Someone, or something, whispering my name. I spun around. Nothing. The bridge was empty. Only the fog, curling and twisting. Yet the whisper lingered in my mind, insistent, teasing, chilling. I moved forward cautiously. The railings were rusted, some missing entirely, and the gaps revealed the black water below. Shadows moved in the corners of my vision, stretching and jerking unnaturally. Each time I turned my flashlight, the shapes vanished, leaving only the dense fog and the creaking wood beneath my feet. Halfway across, I stopped. The whispers had multiplied. Not just my name now, but fragments of sentences. Don't leave, stay forever, join us. I shivered. The bridge felt alive. The fog thickened, curling around my legs as if trying to hold me in place. I reached the center span and noticed something unusual. Footprints, fresh and wet, leading both directions. Mine. Or someone else's. I had no idea. From somewhere deep in the mist, a low moan echoed, followed by a soft, distant laughter. I swung my flashlight toward the sound. The beam illuminated nothing but more fog and the skeletal framework of the bridge. Yet I knew I wasn't alone. I pressed on. The whispering grew louder, overlapping, unintelligible yet hauntingly clear. Every step made the planks beneath me groan, as though protesting my passage. Shadows flickered across the railings, and I caught glimpses of figures standing at the far end, just out of focus, watching. Suddenly, the wind shifted. A voice, soft but urgent, whispered directly into my ear, "Why are you here?" I spun around. No one. Only fog. My heart pounded, every nerve screaming to turn back. But the bridge seemed endless. Every direction I looked, the fog stretched, the whispers swirled, always calling, always following. A sudden movement at the far end caught my eye. A silhouette appeared, tall, thin, drifting slightly above the planks. I squinted. Its face was hidden, but its presence radiated an unnatural coldness. The whispers intensified, now overlapping my own heartbeat, echoing from every direction. I took a step backward. The bridge seemed to shift, elongating, stretching farther than it should have. The fog thickened, blinding me to the ends. Figures appeared on the sides, faint, shadowy shapes, moving closer, gliding over the planks with silent, unnatural grace. Panic surged. I ran, the wood splintering beneath my feet. The whispers followed, rising in a crescendo, voices calling my name, repeating phrases I didn't understand but felt deep in my bones. The figures multiplied, circling, never touching, yet always present. I stumbled over a missing plank, catching myself on the railing. The fog roared around me, twisting and curling, and for a moment, I was completely enveloped. I felt hundreds of unseen eyes on me, watching, judging, waiting. As I regained balance, I realized the bridge was no longer just a physical structure. It was a trap, a living entity fueled by the fear and presence of those who dared step upon it. Every plank, every shadow, every whisper was part of it, guiding me deeper, keeping me from turning back. I pressed forward, heart hammering, every nerve on fire. The whispers now sang in harmony, a haunting lullaby of warning. You can't leave, you never leave. And as I reached the midpoint, I understood. I had entered a place where the bridge didn't just connect two sides of a river. It connected me to something far older, far darker, something that had been waiting in the fog for anyone foolish enough to walk its length. The fog thickened around me, curling in impossible shapes, wrapping itself around the bridge like a living thing. The whispers no longer called just my name. They spoke in layered tones, echoing from every direction at once. Stay, forever, don't leave, follow. I squinted through the haze. Figures materialized, translucent at first, then sharper with every step. They hovered above the planks, tall and thin, faceless, moving in unnatural jerks. Every time I tried to focus, they vanished into the fog, only to reappear further along the bridge, always keeping pace. My flashlight flickered, struggling against the thick mist. Shadows danced on the rusted beams, sometimes stretching to impossible lengths, sometimes shrinking to nothing. The bridge itself groaned as if alive, every creak synchronized with my heartbeat. A sudden cold gust pushed me forward. I stumbled, gripping the railing. The fog around me swirled violently, forming shapes, faces, hands, eyes staring from nowhere, watching, judging. Whispers overlapped screams now, and faint laughter laced through, high-pitched, unnatural, echoing in my skull. I forced myself to move. The bridge narrowed suddenly, planks missing, gaps wide enough to plunge into the black water below. Figures flitted across these gaps, walking effortlessly, floating, smiling, calling my name. The water reflected nothing, but I could feel its pull, as if it were aware of me, waiting to claim me. From above, a shadow loomed, a figure hanging from the overhead beams, arms dangling, faceless. I froze. The whispers intensified, merging into a single voice. You are ours. You belong here. I ran, ignoring the missing planks, the groaning wood, and the chilling wind. Every step brought more figures, some walking on the rails, some floating inches above the planks. They weren't trying to scare me. They were guiding me, hurting me deeper, controlling every move. A broken sign creaked overhead, no entry, unsafe structure. Its letters flickered in the flashlight's beam. Yet I was already beyond entry. I was in the heart of the bridge's power. The fog shifted, and I saw it, a figure at the far end, taller, more defined, black void for a face, stretching upward as if reaching the sky. It moved toward me, yet the bridge lengthened to keep distance, never letting me escape. Every step I took echoed, multiplied, bouncing off the metal beams. My own footsteps had become part of the chorus. I tried calling out, my voice swallowed by the fog. The whispers reacted instantly, growing louder, more urgent. Don't leave, don't look back, stay. The bridge shuddered beneath me. Planks cracked, beams groaned, fog roared, and figures emerged from the mists around me, circling, floating, whispering. Their forms blurred, shifting between human and something inhuman. Eyes appeared where none should exist, mouths stretching impossibly wide, all calling, laughing, wailing. I ran blindly, tripping over missing planks. My flashlight tumbled, illuminating the water below. No reflection, only blackness, swallowing everything. I caught it and continued, heart hammering, breath ragged. The figures were relentless, flanking me, ahead of me, behind me. The bridge had become a corridor of terror, alive, feeding on my fear. Suddenly, a hand, cold, solid, impossible, grabbed my shoulder. I spun, but nothing was there. The whispers coalesced into one horrifying realization: the bridge wasn't just haunted. It was sentient. Every plank, every shadow, every whisper, every ripple of fog was part of its will, guiding me, controlling me, keeping me trapped in its path. I stumbled again, reaching a broken railing. The water below seemed to ripple, dark shapes moving just beneath the surface. Eyes, countless eyes, stared up, following me, anticipating me. The fog formed shapes of faces, mouths opening in silent screams. Then, at the far end, a faint light appeared. A way off. Hope surged. I ran, ignoring the gaps, the missing planks, the groaning structure. The figures multiplied, now fully formed, some human, some not, but all moving with one purpose: to keep me on the bridge. I lunged forward, toward the light, my heart screaming. The whispers rose to a crescendo, a chaotic symphony of warning and invitation. You cannot leave. You belong to the bridge, forever. I reached the end, stepping onto solid ground. The fog began to thin. The bridge behind me looked inert, abandoned once more. Shadows lingered, but they were fading, retreating back into the mists. My chest heaved, legs trembling, flashlight shaking. I was free, for now. But the whispers lingered in my mind. Even the sound of my own footsteps on solid ground echoed like they did on the bridge. The bridge hadn't released me entirely. It followed, patient, waiting for the next misstep. I staggered off the bridge onto solid ground, gasping for air. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest. For a moment, I thought I was safe. The fog thinned, the shadows faded, and the whispers dimmed. But the bridge behind me still loomed, silent, massive, almost aware. I tried to move, to put as much distance between me and the cursed structure as possible. My legs burned, every step echoing in the empty surroundings. But then I heard it again, a whisper, soft, seductive, unmistakable. My name. I froze. The fog from the bridge was curling outward, reaching for me. Figures began to emerge from its depths, slower now, but just as menacing. Faces formed in the mist, some human, some grotesque distortions, mouths opening in silent screams. They didn't move like living beings. They glided, floating, deliberate. A sudden gust of wind slammed into me, cold and biting. My flashlight flickered, then illuminated the far end of the bridge, where the main figure waited, the tall, void-faced entity. It reached a hand toward me, blackness stretching, seeming to touch the ground. Its whisper came through loud, clear, echoing in my skull, "You cannot leave." I ran blindly, dodging shadows that reached out like claws. The ground beneath my feet was uneven, the night air thick, but adrenaline drove me forward. I could feel the fog swirling closer, curling around my ankles, tugging at my clothes. The whispers were now a roar, hundreds of voices, overlapping, beckoning, warning, accusing. I stumbled over a rock, nearly falling, and the whispers changed, now mockery, now laughter. Figures swirled around me, dancing just at the edge of vision. Their eyes glowed faintly, tracking me, following my every move. I scrambled forward, ignoring the pain in my legs and the fear in my chest. The exit from the bridge's cursed zone came into view, a stretch of solid land bathed in moonlight. I sprinted toward it, ignoring the arms, shadows, and fog that reached for me, each one passing through my body like cold knives. The whispers became louder, louder, until they were deafening, filling my mind with countless words, some warnings, some curses. I leaped forward, crossing the invisible threshold where the bridge's influence ended. The fog receded, the shadows vanished, the voices fell silent, leaving only my ragged breathing. My flashlight, still trembling in my hands, revealed the normal night beyond, a calm river, the city lights distant but steady. I collapsed, chest heaving, legs shaking. The bridge loomed behind me, distant now, inert, just an abandoned structure again. But I knew better. I knew what lurked within its span. I knew the whispers, the shadows, the sentience of the bridge were still alive, patient, waiting for the next soul foolish enough to walk its length. I made my way back to the city, footsteps cautious, always listening, always alert. Yet the faint echoes of whispers followed me through the streets, through alleyways, and even into my dreams. I realized that some places never truly release you, no matter how far you run. Even now, I can hear it sometimes, the soft, seductive call of my name carried on the wind, a reminder that the bridge is still out there, watching, waiting, whispering. If this chilling journey across the deserted bridge gave you goosebumps, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more haunted locations, spine-tingling encounters, and eerie stories that stay with you long after the lights go out.